Is Charlotte safe? I'm thinking about relocating to the greater Charlotte area, particularly if you're retiring and relocating to the south because you want to enjoy a nice, peaceful life. Well, I'm in the Charlotte area. I'm Roger Holloway, ProStead Realty, and we help a lot of people move here, and many of them are for 55 plus. Now, I heard a real sad thing yesterday when one of my agents, I've got a team of 4 other agents, said that there was somebody that had called thinking about relocating, I think maybe from Florida. And we get that. Florida's too hot, hurricanes. And they said, well, because of all the news about the murder on the light rail a couple of weeks ago, then we're not going to consider Charlotte anymore. And I want to speak to that. Because in the 55 plus neighborhoods, number one, you're not going to be, for the most part, right inside of the 485 Beltway, which is the greater Charlotte area. That light rail runs from down here around Pineville. You can park your car right there and you can take the light rail all the way up into uptown Charlotte. I've done that just kind of on a whimsy for fun because I've never had experienced it. And since I've moved here about 14 years ago, that light rail has extended from here up into Charlotte over to the university where UNC Charlotte is. And it's a romantic idea to be able to ride the light rail. I don't know what your motivation would be to do it. Maybe the young lady that came from Ukraine that got brutally murdered, basically very utilitarian, I'm sure, for her to get on the light rail and ride that. But if you're relocating here, especially if you're 55 plus, you're going to be pretty much in the confines of your neighborhood. And if you do like we did a couple of weeks ago, some neighbors from our 55 plus, another couple, we got in a van and we drove in the van. We got in the SUV, my wife's SUV. We rode from our little 55 plus about 40 minutes into uptown Charlotte. We parked in a garage and we walked around uptown Charlotte fine. It was on a Saturday night. Went to see the Drifters and the Tams at the Night Theater, I believe it was. Beautiful night out. We walked around. It was sad to me that there weren't a lot of people out on a Saturday night because, the whole uptown thing and the work from home thing, blah, blah, blah. But downtown, I can't really say downtown Charlotte because I'm not from here. One of my team members is from here. Joe can say downtown Charlotte, but Center City, uptown, it's a lovely, lovely area. And if you go from one of the 55 plus particularly, you're probably going to drive in. You know, I've gone the last couple of years to a little jazz event, and I would drive into the Bank of America parking deck and just take an elevator down and to the, fourth floor, and then go over to Rooster's wood-fired grill, all in the confines of this one big Bank of America tower, and then have dinner, lovely dinner at Rooster's, and then go to the venue just right across the street. Go downstairs, go right across the street, bam. We've gone to the Booth Theater right there in that same Bank of America. My wife and I went not long ago, and that's still right within. In fact, no, I think we went with a couple of friends of ours from this neighborhood. And we had dinner at Rooster's, the 4 of us, and we walked over to the Booth Playhouse to see an event. So, guys, my point is that if you're living in some of these 55 plus, like for instance, a lot of people enjoy this Waxhaw area. This is exactly where one of the more popular ones, Encore at Streamside, is right in here. Over here is where Crestwind Wesley Chapel is. You've got some Fort Mill. You've got Carolina Orchards. You've got over here, a very popular one now, over here on this side of the lake is in the Belmont area, which is the Del Webb, Carolina Riverside. You coming up from 16. You've got Imagery on Mountain Island Lake right here. You've got Trilogy right up here. And so these are all a good distance away, and the likelihood of you riding the light rail is slim. Now, I will tell you, our mayor is kind of hiding there. In fact, her name was on, she won a primary yesterday, but she's not given any statements. She's kind of, the news today, the radio guy said, hey, she's kind of in hiding. She doesn't want to make any statements. And I also saw in Axios today, the local Axios, that the judge that released that guy back into after so many times that released that murderer back in and killed. Is such a tragic story. The young girl came from Ukraine to be safe, and then bam. But the judge apparently they've put up to remove her because that was wrong to keep releasing this guy. So there's a lot of brouhaha about it, as there should be. It seems that those of you moving from New York, by the way, I took my coffee on the D train today. Yeah, I got on that D train. That's where I drink my coffee from. A lot of you remember back when a certain mayor came into power and cleaned up Times Square, cleaned up Manhattan. And so a lot of it does get back to strong law and order, I believe. I support the police, CMPD. I support NYPD. We've had clients moving here from the NYPD retirees. And so all I'm saying is, I'm not sure you have to be too concerned. One of the more popular 55 plus has a gate that you have to have a pass to get in. Now, while they're under construction for a few years, those gates are open during the day for construction traffic, but there will come a time when the community's full up, and those gates, that's how you get in. There is one notable 55 plus that I like, and there are resales available right down here in the Indian Land area, and that's Treetops from Lennar. Beautiful, wooded, heavily, and they've got an armed guard at the front gate. Right? And when they had open construction, again, the back gate we could get in, but that's no more. So in other words, if you want a 55 plus with an armed guard, we can help you with that. Call me and ask me to start sending you properties from Treetops in Indian Land or some of the other ones that have gates. And there are many 55 plus and new ones all the time. None of them, because the price of dirt inside of Center City, Charlotte, you're very unlikely to find a 55 plus right in there. And you're very unlikely that you're going to ride the light rail from here up to there. You might do it like I did as just for fun, as a novelty at one point. But in terms of riding that on a regular basis, now, again, many of you moving down here with kids, you're going to more likely be in the Harrisburg area, in the Concord area, Huntersville, Cornelius, Mooresville, Troutman is above that. You're probably going to be over here in the Lake Wiley area or Fort Mill. The schools are rocking. Rock Hill is really coming on strong. Waxhaw is lovely. Monroe is strong. And then going out even further over to Locust, because there's a new 55 plus coming up out there. And so all I'm saying is I don't think you're going to have a problem. Crime can happen anywhere, but you're probably not going to ride the light rail or the little trolley we have from Elizabeth Inn. I call it the Folly trolley. I mean, it's, very likely. And so come and let us show you around. Let us get you a good feel. Get your boots on the ground. Don't give up on relocating to the greater Charlotte area. So I'm going to Raleigh. It could happen there too. It's a big city. And so there are ways to work it out. So I'd love for you to come to the greater Charlotte area, be one of the 157 people a day. Yeah, I said it. 157 people a day was the last number relocating to the greater Charlotte area. And we love to help you, especially in your retirement. It's a great lifestyle, guys. So call me, 704-345-3400, and get on down here.